The Vatican itself is probably the biggest enemy of America in this moment of time, because they are behind the plots that instigate the fear we are living in. And obviously their allies, the Muslims. And at the same time we have the Zionists who are working behind the closed doors with their banking system to try, you know, to save things around, but the core of them is corrupt. It's quite incredible. I mean, in Rome you have every single church built upon a pagan center. So it's just a cover-up. There's never been such a thing as Christianity. It's just a cover-up. Rome is a cover-up for paganism. The intellectuals and the people on top of the Vatican, they have always been pagans and worshippers of all kinds of things. And it's clearly demonstrated in the artwork exhibited, for example, at Villa d'Este near Rome in Tivoli, where you have one of the most lavish style villas dedicated to cardinal, dedicated to somebody that was in charge of the power for the Vatican, and constructed for himself a villa with 1,000 fountains, where he can have all kinds of games, you know, and perversions. So he will have a special corners where he can bring his lovers and things, may they be young boys, ladies, or whatever. You know, this is how it was working, and is still working in the Vatican. I mean, these people, when they reach the position of being basically princes of the church, cardinals, they sit down there with their ring and they give themselves to any sort of perversion. So there is a lot of male prostitutes that go to the Vatican and service the Vatican clergy regularly.
Right.
The Apostle Paul, in his second letter to the Thessalonians, foretold the great apostasy which would result in the establishment of the papal power. He declared that the day of Christ should not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verses 3 and 4. And furthermore, the apostle warns his brethren that the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Even at that early date, he saw creeping into the church errors that would prepare the way for the development of the papacy. Little by little, at first in stealth and silence, and then more openly as it increased in strength and gained control of the minds of men, the mystery of iniquity carried forward its deceptive and blasphemous work. Almost imperceptibly, the customs of heathenism found their way into the Christian church. The spirit of compromise and conformity was restrained for a time by the fierce persecutions which the church endured under paganism. But as persecution ceased and Christianity entered the courts and palaces of kings, she laid aside the humble simplicity of Christ and his apostles for the pomp and pride of pagan priests and rulers, and in place of the requirements of God, she substituted human theories and traditions. The nominal conversion of Constantine in the early part of the 4th century caused great rejoicing, and the world, cloaked with a form of righteousness, walked into the church. Now the work of corruption rapidly progressed. Paganism, while appearing to be vanquished, became the conqueror. Her spirit controlled the church. Her doctrines, ceremonies, and superstitions were incorporated into the faith and worship of the professed followers of Christ. This compromise between paganism and Christianity resulted in the development of the man of sin, foretold in prophecy as opposing and exalting himself above God. That gigantic system of false religion is a masterpiece of Satan's power, a monument of his efforts to seat himself upon the throne to rule the earth according to his will. Great controversy. page 50 and 51, Great Controversy.
The black masses.
But you know, everybody knows the black masses in the Vatican. You know, I mean, not everybody, but if you're in certain circles, you get to know it quite easily.
Well, say a little bit about the black masses.
You know, they are happening regularly in the Vatican. I think since time immemorial. I mean, they are there because they represent ancient pagan cults that have never died out really.
Really?
You know, they're still under Rome, just where they left them. They are those cults of a pagan nature, which are sometimes on the demonic side because they require sacrifices of babies or whatever. Like, for example, the god of the ancient Etruscans, Orcus, very much favored by the skull and bones.
And they give sacrifices of babies to this god, this quote unquote god. Is that one of the black masses you're speaking on?
Black masses have various aspects.
Yeah, just speak a little bit about it. 5 minutes to speak about black masses.
Well, you have the traditional black mass, which is a perversion of what a true mass is. You know, it's just you twist the whole thing around and you change you make the symbolism fit a completely different setup, and suddenly, you know, you find yourself with a Virgin of the altar. They are invoking Satan in that case. So that is the classic black mass, because this is really the whore of Babylon what we have in Rome.
Okay.
We have
true.
corruption of all kinds, you know, gay bishop, gay priest, gay cardinal, pedophilia, the Vatican Bank dealing with weapons, drugs, all kinds of corruption. This is things that shouldn't be happening any longer. America at the moment, because of Georgetown University, for example, and other bases of the Jesuits in this country, and because the Vatican, with the Knights of Malta, has become a leading character in this crusade of this new world order setup, with people like Blackwater, the mercenaries, you know. So, I mean, they are also very important, the Knights of Malta, because the chief of, for example, CA or the chief of this other agency is part of it. So everybody is under the Pope.
Right.
But if this Pope is gay, corrupt, and the Church of Rome is basically a disaster, why should America respect the Vatican in any way? Why should America let the Vatican dictate what we should do or we shouldn't in our own country? America has been founded by the founding fathers with an idea of staying free of influence from the Vatican.
That's right.
Now, this is not respected by our modern leaders who kiss the ring of the Vatican bishops, including George W. Bush.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Say that all over once again.
I mean, the fact that this is not respected by the present leaders of America, the fact that America should always keep a certain healthy distance from the Vatican. Mm-hmm. The moment it starts merging together and being part of the same plan, it merges with the evil of the beast, the evil of Satan. And at that point, kissing the ring of the bishop or the cardinal for George W. Bush or any other politician is a must these days. Because, you know, in that case, you see, you know, the Pope parading and Dick Cheney and his wife running from the other side of the road. Ah, the Pope, the Pope. This is rubbish.